Hey, everybody. This is Tanya Barnett. I kind of, in my office space, got a lot going on, trying to revamp some things. So sorry, it's like half and half. But I just wanted to say, hey, it is day 10 of 2018. And I'm so super excited because we are on tip number 2. And tip number 2 is just as important as tip number 1. Tip number 1, last week we talked about making sure you make space, make room. So if you need to say goodbye to some commitments, which I had to do last week, I had to shut down 2 commitments that I had already made. Thank God I hadn't started yet, but I decided after I got to see everything that was involved in it, I decided, you know what, this is too much. I don't have the time for it. I have a lot of things going on, a lot of things coming up. So I had to make room and I had to say no. I had to bow out gracefully. And it's okay to bow out gracefully. I want you all to know that it is okay to bow out gracefully. No one's going to be mad at you. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Bert. No one's going to be mad at you. I think we play that in our minds that people are going to be mad. They need us. They're going to be upset that we can't do it. But at the end of the day, when they're at home chilling, you're at home stressing out, trying to crank out a project, trying to crank out, something to make that organization or that event or whatever it is better. And those people who have tasked you with it, they've gone on with their lives. So that was tip number 1 last week, making room, being okay with saying no. I think I've shared with y'all. Hey, Crystal, I think I shared with you before that there was a point where I was a Girl Scout troop leader, cheer coach on NAACP Education Committee. All these things that I was doing, they were great things, okay? So not knocking any of that. They were great things, but I was overcommitted. So I had to let some things go, like coaching cheer. I had to let go of Girl Scouts. They brought me joy, but at that moment in my life, I was doing too much. Team do too much, okay? And then also those of you who are from People Pleaser Land, y'all know who y'all are. I'm jockeying for Queen every day for that. We need to learn how to say no. So in 2018, we're going to make room by saying no. We're going to evaluate some of the things that we're connected to and decide whether or not those things are something that we need in our life for right now. That's not saying you can't do them later. That's not saying that it's not something that you want to do, but now just may not be the time. And I have a lot on my plate. That's me. I know, Miss Carter. But it's so true because especially as wives and moms, we do too much, and then our husbands and our kids are looking at us like, yo, mommy, honey, what's the what? And we can't give to our families because we're giving too much. So that's tip number 1, make room, because you want to make room. It's just like I shared. If you're at a buffet and you have now filled up your plate with all this food and you get to the end of the buffet line and you see crab legs, but your plate's full, then you're mad because you're not going to throw away all that food. Okay, so make room. Take some stuff off your plate. It's okay. No one's going to die. The world is not going to end. That organization will continue. They were there before you started. They'll be there when you leave. If you're singing on the choir, guess what? Really, for real, we're really not going to miss your alto on Sunday. We're not. We're not going to miss your alto. If you're an usher, we're not going to miss you escorting us down the aisle. We're still going to see you, okay? So it's okay to say no, even to church. I'm telling you now, it's okay to say no to church. Some of you may get free. Some of you may get your life if you say no to church things, okay? Church things are good things, they're God things, but is it your season? Do you need to be doing everything? Or instead of doing 5 things at church, maybe narrow it down to 1. I know some people that are doing like everything. Every ministry in the church they're doing. So they're always at church. And then they're wondering why things are going on at home because they're never home. All right, so making room. Tip number 2, because we're making room, one of the things I really, really want to stress to you is that you need to get some type of help. Get some type of, therapy, things of that nature. Therapy is not a bad word. I know in the Black community, when I was growing up, I heard people say that's what white people do and things of that nature. Black people do it too, okay? I'm one person who gets therapy. I know several high-profile people that get therapy. So that is tip number 2, get therapy. Why get therapy? Because sometimes when you're in life, a lot of times what happens in life is we become overwhelmed. We become super overwhelmed. I know at one point I was very overwhelmed. I think I shared one of my transparency moments that, my youngest daughter is on her way out of high school. My oldest daughter is pregnant and doesn't live here. And so for me as a mom, it was very stressful. And so I was becoming overwhelmed because I wanted to fix everybody. I wanted to make sure that my oldest daughter had everything she needed all the way in Houston. I'm here in the DC area. I wanted to make sure my baby girl gets to college, even though she's the one that, you know, trashed her grades in 9th and 10th grade, and now she's struggling to find scholarship money, okay? For me, I felt bad as a mom, like, oh my gosh, what can I do? What can I do to make their lives better or easier or whatever? So I'm up at night, can't sleep, causing stress, eating everything I can put my hands on. I'm just keeping it honest. Graham crackers are from the devil, okay? They're not cookies, so you eat like a whole sleeve because you justify to yourself, hey, these aren't cookies, so I'm just gonna eat them. And I was doing that, okay? And kettle cooked potato chips. Graham crackers, kettle cooked potato chips, just from the devil, okay? So in that part of it, what I found is that I was extremely overwhelmed. I was stressed out. It was causing me a lot of anxiety because I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, what am I gonna do? My baby girl crying, you know, Gabby was all the way in Texas. What if she goes into labor? I'm here. How am I gonna get on the plane, get to her in time? This, that, and the third. And I had to chill out. I had to tell myself, Tanya, your girls are gonna be okay. They will be okay. Gabby is 25 years old. Donnie is 17. These are choices that they made, and they're gonna be okay. You have to really put your kids in God's hands, and that's what I had to do. And because of that, I've been able to kind of chill out, ease out a little bit. You know, having therapy, talking to my counselor, she's just like, yo, you cannot be mom 24/7. You just cannot. They have to be their own individual selves. So therapy is not a bad word. And one of the things I want to share with y'all is that here we are in January. You know, our benefits have refreshed or renewed for a lot of people. I think for most people. And so you have EAP, and EAP is Employee Assistance Program. And what EAP does is you are allowed to have between 6 to 10 free sessions with a therapist, and you can choose whoever you want. Okay, someone actually had a long conversation last week with a girlfriend after I posted. I forget what the post was on social media, but she called me and asked me about therapy. And she said, Tanya, I've been crying for about 2 days. I feel overwhelmed. I feel stressed. All these things are going on in my life. You know, honey wants me, kids want me, da da da. You know, do you think I should go for therapy? And I said, of course, because when you go see a therapist, your therapist is going to allow you to say what you feel with no judgments, okay? Here in the real world, I'm just keeping it 100. If a mom said, you know what, I just feel like saying F that. I want to get in my car, drive, and go sit at the bar at Chevy's and have 5 margaritas, people are going to judge her, okay? But that's her truth. So a therapist allows you to sit on their sofa and say, look, I want to drive to Applebee's and, you know, eat a whole pound of chicken wings or whatever it is, and they'll talk to you and talk you off the cliff. Talk you off the ledge. Because if you talk to your husband about it, your husband going to tell you crazy. Your girlfriends are going to judge you. But a therapist, they're going to let you know, okay, your feelings are valid. What you're feeling is valid. However, what are some other ways you can work through it? So for me, you know, because I wasn't sleeping, my therapist said, what makes you sleep the most? I said, when I run. She was like, okay, well, you need to get back to running. So that's something that I'm starting to pick up. I've been doing a lot of walking. Yes, absolutely, girl. Yes. So, you know, I started walking again, getting up and trying to get to the gym in the morning. And even, you know, today I had an opportunity to walk, I think it was almost 4 miles, if it wasn't 4 miles, with one of my girlfriends. And I'm telling you, I felt so much better when I came home. I had a headache when I was heading out. When I came back home, I felt so much better, okay? So please, please, please reach out to your insurance company. It is called EAP. It is confidential, so if you have, say for instance, you have a top secret clearance or something like that, and you don't want your company to know that you're receiving these services, they don't have to know. That's the beautiful thing about EAP. So make sure you check that out. There's nothing wrong with it. You ain't got to tell nobody. You ain't got to tell your girlfriends. You know, I share because that's what I do through Tanya Speaks Life and the Real Wife Movement. I share my truth with people so that people can get free. And every time somebody's hit me in a DM, text message, or giving me a call saying, hey, that's me, how can I get help in that area? So definitely look at some therapy. Again, it's not a bad thing. Nothing has to be wrong. That's the other thing with therapy. Nothing has to be wrong. It could just be, say for instance, you want to plan out some goals for 2018. So my therapist, we're working on two things. We're working on how to manage being a mom with children that have a lot going on right now. And then also working on some of my goals. Okay, so I have a coach. I'm in a coaching program, but I also have a therapist. So my therapist, believe it or not, the stuff that she talks about is the same thing my coach is talking about, but she helps me process it a little bit better so that I'm able to take more steps, action steps, okay? So with the anxiety, I'm like, oh my gosh, can I do it? Can I do it? She talks me off the ledge and says, hey T, you can do this. Here's some small baby steps. Take baby steps to achieve those goals, which then works hand in hand with what my coach is telling me to do. So therapy doesn't have to always be because, you know, everything's falling apart. It can also be, yes, absolutely. Thank you, Valerie. Make sure you share this out. If you're joining me, I'm Tanya Barnett. Make sure you share this out. But yeah, so your therapist also can help you plan out some things. My therapist I love her to pieces. She is great. She gives you deadlines. She gives you dates. She keeps it 100 with you. She'll say, is this realistic? Is this something that you really can achieve? And she'll help you walk through it. And that's what I love about her. So the second thing I want to say about getting therapy, if your therapist isn't working for you, get another one. It's okay. You don't have to be married to that therapist, okay? When Don and I were doing marriage counseling years ago, we went through like 4 or 5 different therapists, and it just was not working for us. We were just like, this ain't working. Marriage counseling ain't working. So we then chose to do counseling individually, and then that helped our marriage come together. So we had to see what worked for us. So actually, us doing marriage counseling together with several different counselors did not work, but us doing individual counseling, that helped our marriage build, because then we both were dealing with our own issues, and then we got better, and then our marriage got better. So you do not have to stay married to your therapist. You do not have to stay married. There's no rule that says because that's your therapist, you can go to 1, 2, 3 sessions. If it's not working, call EAP and say, hey, I need another authorization number. That therapist was not working. You do not have to stay married to that person, okay? And then third, if you want to bring someone in to your sessions, they will let you do that. So whatever you're dealing with, or like I said, it doesn't have to be anything heavy. You just want some clarity on some things, some goals, things of that nature. You can actually bring people into your session. So if you want to bring your spouse in, or if you're having some issues, say with your kids, and you're trying to work some things out, they'll let you bring, say, that child in, or your mother. I know with my therapist, she even will call people on the phone and say, hey, do you want to get them on the phone? And then she'll do a small introduction and say, hey, this is who I am, and so is my client, and I want to bring you in on this call. Are you okay with that? So you can actually bring people in to your sessions with your EAP. Now, once your EAP runs out, then it's up to your insurance to cover whatever it is it covers, okay? So for some people, your insurance may pick up and continue covering your sessions, or other insurances like ours, we have to then pay. But the beautiful thing is, when we pay, we use our health savings card, okay? So that helps as well. So we're not paying cash money. We're actually using our card that you get, every year. It gets reset with more money on it. So we use that to offset the cost of our therapy session. So, if you don't know this, these are some of the things I want to share with you all, because I think sometimes when people think about counseling, especially in the Black community, we think, stuff had to hit the fan and all hell has broken loose and it's just some traumatic whatever going on. No, you can actually go to a therapist to just help you get grounded and get clear about what your goals are and what you're trying to achieve for whatever it is, whether it's weight loss. If you need to see a therapist about weight loss, you could do that. You need to see a therapist because you're trying to work on some things as far as being a mom, or if you're trying to work on some things on your own self as being a wife, or just even personal things, if there's some goals that you want to work on. Yes, and they're not the last resort. Hold on one second. Yes, honey. Okay, thank you. Honey's on taxi duty tonight. Thank you, baby. He's picking up the kids. Yes, before things get crazy. Absolutely. And that's the misnomer. People always think that, you go to therapy when, like I said, you're driving to Applebee's and you're ordering chicken wings and you don't want to go home and, you're drinking a fifth of Henny and stuff like that. No. You can go to therapy for a checkup. If you just want to do some checkup, or how you get your oils looked at and all that other stuff in your car, you can do the same thing with therapy. All right. So therapy, make sure you get your EAP sessions, and it's okay. There's nothing embarrassing about it. A lot of people that you probably know are getting therapy aren't saying anything, but with me, I'm about being 100 transparent with you all. So yes, therapy is a must for me. Therapy helps me get grounded. Therapy helps me not take stuff so heavy in my life, especially motherhood. Motherhood to me is just like, it is such a gift to me that it's like a bowl of china that I don't want to break, or crystal or something like that. To me, it's just that valuable to me. And when I see that I can't help my children, it is very painful for me. So like I said, that's what I was having to see my therapist for, just having to function on, my daughter struggling through this whole college entrance process and not being qualified to even receive any scholarships because of a low GPA. So for me, that was tough. That was my toughie. For somebody else, it may be just weight loss, or it may be, hey, you know what, my boss is driving me crazy. Help me get some coping skills. Okay. So that's number one. So get your EAP. Number two, make sure that you understand you're not married to your therapist. Okay, so you are not married to that person. If it is not working, or they're not getting you, or you're not getting the results that you need, you can get somebody else. You're not married. Just like a doctor. If your OBGYN isn't working for you, or your cardiologist isn't working for you, you can get a new doctor. I've done that with my own children, where I felt like their pediatricians were not understanding what I was saying. Do that for yourselves. Gift that to yourself in 2018. And then last but not least, you could bring somebody into your session. So if there's someone that you say, I want my husband to come in, and maybe he could tell you, how I'm responding to this from his perspective. I brought Dawn into my sessions, and it helped. It helped my therapist see, a bigger picture. It wasn't just my perspective and everything. She was able to see Dawn's perspective as well, and then work with me around that whole motherhood thing, because he sees me day in and day out. He's been married to me almost 19 years, and she's only seeing me, 1 hour every other week. So, if you want to bring someone into your sessions, you're more than welcome to do that when you're dealing with therapy. And, I just think it's really important for everyone to understand that therapy is not a bad word. And like I said, last but not least, you don't have to go when everything is awry. Okay. When you're at your wit's end, and you want to go sit on the beach in the Maldives, and no one knows where you are. It doesn't have to be that extreme. It really can be, hey, I just need some clarity. I need some help. And I'm not knocking, getting counseling at church. I'm not knocking that at all. So I don't want anyone, your pastors emailing me and stuff like that. I have been dreaming about finding a therapist. Girl, just call your insurance company and give them your information and say, hey, I want somebody near me. And I was very clear and unapologetic. I wanted an African-American woman, because I felt like I wanted someone who could understand where I was coming from. I wanted a woman around my age who was contemporary. So for me, that was very important, making sure I had a therapist who was in my area, African American, contemporary, young, who was in the mix. And it was so funny, when I looked her up on Facebook, we had like 20-something friends in common. And these are good people that we had in common. So I was like, yo, my therapist and I have good friends in common, because y'all know 6 degrees of separation doesn't even exist anymore in our space now. And so I got the chance to see what she had going on. And my therapist she's doing the darn thing. So when I go see her, she understands what I'm talking about. And that's what I'm saying. You're not married to your therapist. If it ain't working, get somebody else. Get somebody who understands you. Get somebody who you're getting clarity, who you feel like you're making strides with. And that's what my therapist is doing for me. She's helping me make strides in the motherhood piece. And then I also work with her on obtaining some of my goals. She helps me unlock some things in my brain, whether it's fear, trepidation, anxiety, whatever it is. She helps me work through that because she gives me due dates. She doesn't allow me to make excuses. And it's that whole accountability piece. Yes, I have a coaching program. Yes, I have a coach. And my coach is helping me on the business side, but she's helping me connect the dots in my brain and on my personal side so that the two can marry each other. So then that way I can succeed. And that's why, I like to tell people that, the success that you see me having, it didn't happen in a vacuum or in a bubble. I have a lot of things going on in the background. And that's why I want to share it with you all, because some people may be stuck. Here it is day 10 and you're like, yo, I'm stuck. I haven't written in my planner. I haven't done anything. And I get it. That was me. I used to buy a planner year after year after year after year and never write in it. And it's no judgments, okay? Great advice to suggest to get as detailed as possible when choosing a therapist. Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to share this, because some people just don't know, okay? And we don't talk about it. It's all hush hush, like for real. Nobody's talking about this, all right? I'm putting it out there on Front Street, okay? Tanya Barnett, real wife coach, Tanya Speaks Life. I see a therapist and she helps me. And that's why I'm where I am, because of her, okay? It just is what it is, okay? I think I am fabulous, but I'm not that fabulous. I have help, okay? So we all need help, okay? Therapy is not a bad word. So yes, make sure you get your EAP. Make sure you make your appointment. Just like I challenge you all to get your mammograms and your Well Woman's exam. I have made that appointment February. I'm going for all of that. Just like we get all that stuff checked up and checked out, we need to get this checked up and checked out, like for real. Because too many people, and I just interviewed a young lady a couple of weeks ago on my show, Kim, and Kim put it right out there on Front Street on the Tanya Barnett show, that she had a stroke in October. Kim is younger than me, and she had a stroke from stress. A news anchor in Atlanta just had a stroke I think it was Christmas week, and passed away, young. Eric Garner's daughter. So y'all, black women are losing their lives because we're carrying all this weight. We're trying to make it happen. We're grinding, we're hustling, we're this, we're that, and not taking a break to get our mental right, okay? So I don't want to lose none of y'all. I don't want y'all to lose me, because we need each other. Our community needs us. Our kids need us. Our world needs us, especially right now with number 45. God knows the world needs black women now more than ever. So I love you all. I'm going to digress from there, and I'm going to let you all know that guess what came in the mail? Booyah! I'm so super excited. This is the proof, okay? So this is not the actual book. This is the proof. But it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And I wanted to share some of the pages with you all that are in the proof. And this is a full color book. So if you have not gotten your Today's History Maker book, you may want to do that. All right. So this is none other than Amber Wright. This is a full color book, y'all. Okay. Every single page is in full color, glossy pages. Do y'all see that? All right. So this is a coffee table book. All right. And it's called Today's History Makers, 21st Century African American Female Entrepreneurs. So I'm so excited because I finally got the proof in the mail. So this is how big the book is. It may be a little bit bigger. We're still, working out the specs of the book. But this book is absolutely beautiful. And I see Mimi Green just joined us. So let me pull up Mimi Green of Mimi Cute Lips. Where's Mimi Green at? Here she is. So here's Mimi Green. That is a full color page, y'all. Okay? That is a full color page. And she gets to share her story. Her website is in this book. Her social media handles in her book is in this book. And you get to hear from her some obstacles that she overcame. All right? So this book has real women who are doing it. Okay? This book has real moms, wives, single women, single moms, divorcees, grandmas that are contemporary. These women are, I don't think anybody is over 50. Somebody just had a 50th birthday yesterday that's in my book, but I don't think anybody else in my book is over 50. And these are women who are doing the darn thing, okay? So I'm super, here's Dr. Avis. Love Dr. Avis. She wrote the foreword for the book. This is a full color book, okay? There's Dr. Avis. She wrote my foreword. She just recently, y'all know, sadly, she's a news anchor on, was a news anchor on News Now 1 on TV 1. So yeah, that's Dr. Avis. She wrote the foreword for the book. See? Foreword written by Dr. Avis. And so I'm just really excited about this book. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you so much. So I'm really excited about these women that are in this book. I cannot wait for you to get your copy. This is a piece of history. I wanted to provide something where women could get, and girls, could get a book of women that look just like them who are making history today. Far too often when I did my research, all the history books have women who are either our mama's age or older or deceased. There's no history books that show women that look like us who are doing non-traditional jobs, okay? Here is Ramunda Lark Young, the owner of Mahogany Books. She's been on all media here lately. If you don't know about Mahogany Books, you've probably been under a rock. But she recently, her and her husband Derek, just recently, about a month ago, opened up a bookstore in Southeast DC. The first bookstore, so they made history, the first bookstore in 25 years in a book desert in Southeast DC. So I'm really excited to have Ramunda in my book. There she is right there. So I have some heavy hitters, y'all. I have history makers. Did y'all hear what I said? They are on the route. NBC, CBS, you name it, Huffington Post, Black Enterprise, all these places have featured them because they opened the first black bookstore in Anacostia, okay, in 25 years. So I'm super excited about this book. If you have not gotten it, the website is todayshistorymakers.com. You can see pictures of all 40 women that are in the book. I'm excited, okay, so this is the proof. Like I said, it is full color. There are no, I didn't take any, I didn't want to be cheap on this book. I mean, look at this. Look at Trey. I mean, these pages are just absolutely beautiful. Okay? And these women share their stories of overcoming. Some women overcame domestic violence. Some women overcame near death. One woman in here was incarcerated. She was in jail. Now her products are in Walmart. She's an international speaker. Okay? So I have some heavy hitters in this book. You want to make sure you get this book. Today's History Maker, the website, todayshistorymaker.com. I'm super proud. This is book number 3 for me, y'all. And this is actually going to be a series. So there's more books coming. I'm working on that on the back side. That's why I had to make room, because I got some projects that I'm working on. This is a book series. So you'll be seeing this. And I actually connected with the model for the book. She's in Canada. Okay, so she and I actually connected, so I'm really excited, and I'm hoping to bring her on Tanya Barnett's show so I can interview her about being featured on the front of my book, okay? So I'm excited. Make sure you share this out about the tips today. Make sure you share this out, that the tip today is about therapy. It is not a bad word, y'all. We have to do better as a community. We have to do better as a community. We have to take care of ourselves. And therapy is the #1 way to do that. All right. So as promised, I didn't want to be on here no more than 30 minutes because I feel like once you go over 30 minutes, you just talking to hear yourself talk. Unless someone has any questions, I'm about to be out of here because my kids should be home from basketball game at school. I haven't seen my children all day. So yes. So thank you so much. Oh, you love going to therapy. Thank you, Mimi. Mimi, would you like to come on and share with us? Because I think I could slide over and add you to this interview. And you're in this book. Mimi Green right there. She is in this book. She is a lifestyle correspondent. She's been at the White House with the President Obama. And she just does some fantastic things. So there is Mimi. She said I'm in my role. But yes, let me see how I can add you, girl. Give me 1 second. There you are. Okay, let me see if I can add you. Oh, it says I can't bring you to the broadcast. So I don't know if you blocked it or what have you, but it says I can't bring you. I don't know if you have your camera on or not, but yeah, it says I can't bring you. I can see different people I could bring, but you're not one of them. Oh no. It's all good. It's all good. So yes, thank you so much everybody for joining me. I will see you all next Wednesday unless something happens and I can't make it, snow, whatever. Next Wednesday for tip number 3. I hope this has helped you. I hope this has helped you get some clarity about therapy. That is not a dirty word, y'all. Okay, we got to get out of that mindset. Therapy is not a dirty word. Okay, so if you have to stand in the mirror and tell yourself that like 20 times, therapy is not a dirty word, and then you call your insurance company, do it. But I want y'all to hang around in 2018. I don't want nobody else stroking. Okay, Kim Knight, she had a stroke in October. Kim is younger than me. I don't want anybody else having a stroke. I don't want anybody else's family going through that and the fear and all that her family went through, like for real. And Kim shared it. She shared it right on my Kim shared it on my Tanya Barnett show. Yes, yes, they can go for free. Yes, thank you, Marsha. Thank you so much. It is not a dirty word. So. Thank you, Kim, for bringing that to my attention. Yes, we get 8 free sessions, Mimi. So, yes, Mimi's company gets 6. We get 8. Make sure you check it out because I don't want anybody else having a stroke. The news anchor in Atlanta had a stroke and passed away week of Christmas. I don't want that happening to y'all, okay? I don't want to see sad emojis on Facebook in 2018. We need you. We got work to do in 2018. As black women, we have work to do. We got primaries this year, so we need y'all to run, okay? We got elections in November, the general election. We need y'all to run, okay? So if you need to make some room, tip number 1 was make some room, take some stuff off your plate, and you know God is calling you to run for office. I don't care if it's school board. I don't care if it's register of the wills, county clerk, whatever it is, county commissioner, council member, whatever it is. Please run. If you know that you've been called to run, run. We got you. Y'all already know. I'm going to put you out there. I'm going to have you on the Tanya Barnett show talking about you running. Okay? I'm super excited. But we got work to do and we got to start. Yes, run for something. I actually had a friend call me today and she was like, Tanya, primaries in June. What you doing? So, y'all know I had to give it a church and so I got to pray about it. I got to pray about it. Okay? So run for something because we have to make a difference. All right? And Mama Oprah says so. Okay? Mama Oprah says so. So we have to do that. So I love you all. I am at 8:31, so I'm 1 minute over my 30-minute promise to you all. And I will see you all Monday, Tanya Barnett Show, listenvisionlive.com. My special guest on Monday is Tiffany Gill of Black Girls Unscripted. I cannot wait to have her. We're going to be talking about preparing our girls for leadership in the 21st century. So I cannot wait. So make sure you check us out, listenvisionlive.com, 8 p.m. on Monday, Eastern Standard Time. And then I'll be back here on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook Live. And we're going to be going over tip number 4. Adios.